dude, what's the vibe? We're about this bass teacher reacts to jazz legends where you're just like, right, I'm gonna grab the most unshreddy bass in my collection.
Yeah, like a little bit, you know. It'd be silly if I showed up with the Ken Smith 6,
The
like
six
pretending.
string. Oh,
like, hey, I'm one of these guys.
I forgot you had that, Ken.
I do have it.
But dude, you are the reluctant jazzer, though. You are the
know.
reluctant. Let's just call it out. You love jazz. Well, there's a certain part of you that sort of like really loves it, right?
It's very true. Yes. Yeah. It's very true. I think, you know, because of previous experiences in middle school, right?
Yeah.
Right? Being laughed at in jazz band for playing with a pick because I didn't know better and not knowing how to read music. And right, I feel like I've been burned by the yas, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
A little bit of yaz.
A little bit of yaz? Are we going to do some yaz today?
I think we're going to do yaz.
What are we here to do, Divine?
Okay, well, let me just give the listeners a heads up. We're not really sure what we're going to do, but we're going to be reacting. Actually, I'm not going to be reacting. I have gathered a collection of clips, of beautiful clips of beautiful players doing their thing. We've got some new guys. We've got some old legends. Mm-hmm. And we're going to sit here and Ian, you are the reactor today. Reactor. Look, did you see what you were doing just then? You would obviously, you're stroking the jazz beard.
The jazz beard, dude. Yes, we shall see.
You know exactly where we're at. We're stroking our jazz beards. We're getting ready for some jazz.
Yeah, it's time to critique the ivory tower.
Okay, are you ready for the first clip?
I was born ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
The Gwiz, dude.
Yes.
The Gwiz.
Woo!
Oh, that was cheeky.
Did you catch the little bit of cheeky there?
Bing. He get that false harmonic thing in there.
Oh,
Holy
it was
moly.
incredible. It was incredible. Here we go one more time.
Ah.
I love the sound of this bass.
Man, yeah. The bow. I can't even falsetto that high.
Look at Janek's face here. Janek's he's like, how did I do that?
He's thinking that was super bad. Like
he's
thinking like
yeah.
I pulled it off. Like that's an easy thing to miss. And he right here, he's just like, hell yeah, it came through. Awesome. Let's keep on with the beautiful phrasing. Because that's what's happening here. Beautiful phrasing. Dude,
yeah.
Okay, look, Janek is one of those guys that within a few notes, I absolutely know it's him, especially when he's playing melody.
Yeah.
Because he has this super laid back phrasing that is just gorgeous. He was here not too long ago and sat just here, and I played some notes. I played just some real, basic thing, and he played a Janek melody over the top. And I immediately was like, man, the Gwiz is an absolute beast.
He's awesome.
His melodies come from here, and like you can really hear his sound and his heart in his playing. This dude is an absolute monster. Also, check it out. Something that I feel like he doesn't talk about enough and he doesn't get enough credit for is how great his like just straight up palm muted bass playing feels and sounds. When he does like palm mute like a groove thing, it's so funky and cool. And I'm a fan. I'm in.
Me too, dude. Me too. Also, Matteson bass, I think. It's got cool pickups on it. They're like really far back towards the bridge. So for me, when I'm listening to it, well, let's listen to it a little bit more and then we'll talk about the sound. Check it out. Tone down, maybe? Sounds like the tones rolled off to me. That zoo, like, hang on, I'm just going to get the Janek. For me, like the Janek tone, I'm going to butcher it here, but because I'm on a jazz bass, but it's something like, bear with me, peoples. I think it's like on a jazz bass, it would be bridge pickup. It would be tone all the way off. But
is that tone off on the bridge pickup for you?
That's oh no, wait a minute.
There we go.
He does that thing so well.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, man.
There we go, and again. There we go, yeah. I can see the engineer there. The engineer's loving it as well.
The engineer's feeling it. Yeah. And man, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, man, he's singular, you know, like there are a lot of bass players out there that are like solo bass players. But he has a sound that I think I would be able to recognize. I think I'd be able to pick him out of a lineup. And I think that's awesome. Yeah. And he's really like doubled down on it in his career. And I just like applaud him for that. I think it's very cool.
Me too.
I'm in.
Badass. Let's have one more clip and then we're going to jump to the next one. Here we go. For anybody listening as well, he's got a high C on the bass. So it's strung E, A, D, G, and a high C. Oh my God.
Yeah. That.
Oh,
I got a P bass. It's not, and I don't have a high C.
Yeah, like show us. Can you do the Janek on a P bass?
I mean, you know, like I have a P bass here. I turn the tone down, but this thing, like that thing.
Yeah.
That sound is really cool. Like tone up, like where you're pulling off from above. That's such a cool thing. But with the tone off, that's sort of like
sounds great.
That's my like terrible poor man's version of it.
I'd like to hear Janek on a P bass soloing though. Like I've heard him play a P bass on like, you know, stuff like he's played on videos and stuff like that. I would like to hear him play it like a soloing on a P bass.
Janek, we want to hear you solo on a P bass.
Get the P bass out.
Come on, dude. Get that P bass out. Dude, when we were here, I handed him, we did this blindfold video, and I handed him a 67 Coronado with tapes, and he went crazy for it. Loved it. Played it into all of his stuff. Loved it. And it was like maybe, and then put that thing out. People were like, you got to get one of those. Like it started this like fire of love for that bass. And yeah, there's an interesting thing where I feel like when Janek leans vintage, like, you know, either Music Master, P bass, Coronado, whatever it is, it's a really cool, like different parallel universe lane for him.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. We're here for it, Janek.
Right, we are.
Yep.
Okay, number 2. We can't do any videos like this without the guy, Jaco Pastorius. It's where it kind of started. And this is one of my favorite clips of Jaco playing. So let's jump in. Here we go.
Gosh. Ugh. That wide vibrato too.
Yeah.
Ugh. Right. Jeez, clean.
That thing there is when he's playing them fives. It's the pentatonic. No, when he's doing that, I don't know what key he's doing it in, but he's doing the fives, and he's going sort of like.
Oh, so running down in a group of 5.
Yeah, so it's like a.
Yes.
That's like on an A minor, for instance, and he's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what he does, cheeky, he goes.
Ooh,
So
pulls it.
he'll just like, he'll play it like,
Yes.
and then he'll shift everything up a semitone, but carry
Yes.
the pattern on down, so you get this kind of sound.
Right.
That thing. Oh, so good.
It's amazing. Also, his vibrato is so cool.
He's on fire in this clip, dude.
Patient. He's waiting too.
Yeah. Woo. What bass is this? Is this the bass of Doom?
I think it might be actually, but I don't know. I can't say for sure.
It's beat. There he goes again. That same thing. Fires going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah!
He's young in this as well.
Oh, just
I don't know about that
they're
hat,
just
dude.
in it.
Like I'm just
looks
saying,
like
I couldn't pull it off.
It looks like a boxing glove.
Yeah.
His sound. David.
Here we go. Anyway, dude, I'm reacting. Sorry,
Man,
I'm
I
stealing
know,
your
no,
reactions here.
no,
I'm like,
I'm just enjoying it. I mean, I will say again with this, the stuff that I respond to the most, I actually don't care as much. Like you're like, oh, like the 5-group pentatonic thing. That kind of goes. That stuff for me, shredding
doesn't
goes
set
like
you on fire.
No, not at all. It kind of is like white noise to me. It's sort of like there's like music.
Yeah.
And then there's shredding, and the shredding to me is like the white noise. It's like the static.
Yeah,
and I kind of want it to go by so that I can hear him go like, because to me that thing that he lands on is the thing. Like his sense of like time and groove and phrase and his sound. That's Jaco. Like I don't care to jigga. I don't care. I like how he sounds and how he grooves.
Do you know what's weird though, dude? This is the thing that confuses me. You come from the world of shred. You are in the deep, dark memories of the Allison.
Yeah, you know what? It's
80s hair shred.
It's probably because I'm like embarrassed about that in a way or something, you know. It's probably because I'm like, oh, that was the thing I liked as a kid, and now, you know. But that's probably where it's from.
I don't know if it is, dude. I don't know if it is because, like, for me, it just jumps out at me. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you love it.
For you,
you love it.
It's like a good thing, right?
It's in the way. It's in the way.
Do you think you just fell in love with a different thing? Maybe.
Yeah, and actually, I was never into, like, whenever Joe Satriani would find an amazing melody, or like my favorite Dream Theater record was the one where they were doing more songs that were like closer to 5 minutes versus 25 minutes. You know, Rush in the 80s was mine. So I've actually always gravitated towards songs, and you know, and found it, and like put up with the shredding. And tried to do some of it myself, but really, I think like pop music and songs has been the thing for me.
Yourself doing some tapping, dude. Give some tapping.
I mean, I got some tapping. I got a little of that in me. You seen a little of this?
There you go. I can't do it. Mine sounds crap. What's going on here? Oh, mine just sounds wet. Mine sounds like a wet excuse. Mine sounds like this.
Amazing.
You can see me doing this, but it sounds like this.
Give me a whole step and turn your tone back up.
Oh, hang on a minute. Whole step.
Yeah, there you go.
I find that so... Look at you just whip it out. Do you have to do this as well?
You can, but you don't have to. Check it out.
No, dude. I think no. It needs to be a rule. It's like a rule. I have talked to Mr. Sheen about it, and he told me it's the rule.
That's the rule.
It's the rule.
Starts with a pop.
You will
ends with a tap.
Lightning will strike you. Maybe not when you're not doing it. Maybe but it's at some point in your life you're going to get struck down because you didn't do the pull. Is that Ginger, by the way, wandering around in the back?
Dude,
You've got
Ginger
a rogue dog.
Ginger is like, I think Uncle Rick is here, and Ginger is like, let me out of the studio. I want to go outside and play with Uncle Rick, but now she's laying down. We're good. We're all right.
Good. Okay, let's jump into the next one.
Oh, geez. After Jaco, a little ode to Jaco.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Woo! Hey! Oh, on that Supro. Just even. Also, what a lovely head of hair this guy has.
Oh,
Come on. Just a beautiful human being we have in front of us. Woo! Hey! That big spread.
Dude, Evan's fingers freak me out.
Yeah,
I'm
know.
sorry, Evan, if you're watching this, but he does this thing like he plays with like where I'd play. What's he on? Like he plays it like 1, 3, 4.
Yes, he plays 1, 3, 4 for 2 whole steps. That is the craziest thing, right?
You do 1, 2, 4, right?
I do 1, 2, 4. He would play this.
Yeah,
1, 3, 4. Yeah.
It freaks me out when I see it because
Same.
it's like so weird. I'm sure his hands are normal when you look at them in real life, but just when I watch him, like, oh, wow.
Well,
And the
like even where
lines
it's paused,
as well.
he's got that gap, that big gap between his pinky and his ring finger. And that's the thing that, typically like, playing a whole step where, in 1, 2, 4, right? Where you've got, this kind of thing happening.
Yeah.
Like these fingers are kind of squished together a bit, right? And like, man, it's wild to see him do that. And he's got this hexatonic thing, right? He's talked about that where, if he's playing like from C, that sound is really an interesting thing where he's playing 6 notes, like a pentatonic 6-note figure. So just essentially adding the 4th to a pentatonic figure and just essentially, right, doing like this whole step shape across 2 strings. It's very cool.
Yeah, he just like, I'm just going to butcher it now. I'm just going to do a really bad version of Evan, so I do apologize, people and Evan, okay? But he also just like, it's like, it's...
Yes.
I'm not even sure what that is, but maybe he doesn't play lines like that. But to me, when I'm listening to it, it sounds like... And what I'm doing there is...
It's beautiful.
It's on an A minor, right? I'm just going like root 3, and I'm playing 4, 6, and then flat 7, 9, and those massive intervals.
So cool.
Yeah, it sounds kind of Evan. I do love the tone of this bass as well. This is what there's some great clips of Evan playing online. But what jumped out to me was this bass.
You like the sound of this bass?
Oh, dude! Like, obviously, you look stupid because it's a short scale.
There it is. There it is.
Let me just right a wrong. Okay. Let me just right a wrong. We were doing this video on short scales recently, and the whole of Bassdom ganged up on me in the comments. Now, I will say that maybe I overcooked the joke a little bit. Okay, I overcooked the joke. I've been doing live classes in SBL. People are turning up with short scales and making fun of me. I'm not even joking. Like
I'm
yesterday,
sure.
I'm doing a live class yesterday, and one of the guys turned up and he was like, "I've got my short scale, Scott." I was like, "Oh no!" So, just a little bit of history before we did that podcast. Ian and I were talking, and we're like, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if I just go like hard against the short scales and just like start making fun of short scales?" like in a jokey way. And maybe I just didn't land the joke well, but people actually thought I was serious, and I thought the short scales looked stupid on people. So there you go.
Yep.
I've got to work on my humor. It was a joke.
I know your humor. Yeah, but that was
Ian
people were so offended.
Oh, they were
People
really
so
offended. Yeah, they were really offended. But it was a joke. It was a joke. Hey, never mind. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, let's just watch a bit more of Evan doing his thing, and check out the tone of the bass, and look out for that fingering he's doing as well, because he does it a lot. And it does look crazy. Alien fingers in a great way. There you go. Woo. That lick is a beast, by the way, to play.
Yes, and he makes it look effortless.
Yeah,
he makes it look so simple. Like it's not a problem at all for him. That's wild.
If you watch closely when he does it, he like just flicks his hair, like just looks
just like
mid lick. I'm like sweating. I'm sweating, and he's just sort of like.
I laugh at this lick.
I laugh. Yes, exactly. He's like laughing inside. Oh,
man.
great.
Can I tell you really quick too? There was, I've worked for this artist named Joey Verscazzi, he just goes by Verscazzi. And he had Evan play on a track for him. It was a track that was unreleased. It was called Teeth. And it was the first time I'd ever heard Evan. And he was playing on like a pop tune, and he sounded like Evan Marien, but playing this super groovy thing on a pop tune. And it was wild. And I remember thinking holy crap, who is this guy? And it was Evan Marien. So I have a lot of love for this guy, man. Amazing. Amazing playing.
He's a super cool guy as well.
Yeah.
A lot of pentatonics as well. Woo!
Oh, that third to fourth finger thing is wild.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing. That's
so good, dude. Exactly.
That thing is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool as well, just to get them lines under your fingers, because it just gives you all of these different intervals as well, which really stick out when you hear it. It's such a cool approach. Hey, just also to let everybody know, if you're enjoying this and you're sort of like enjoying the jazz legends, we've actually just opened an incredible jazz program called the SBL Jazz Lab. If you want to go check it out, it's sbljazzlab.com, and it's. You might have, studied with us through an online course or maybe the membership before. This is more of like an online college experience, right? So it's not really just like an online course. It's more like an online college experience where you're paired with an SBL tutor, like an SBL coach. I'm teaching the curriculum. We've also got Todd Johnson involved, who is one of the greatest electric jazz educators on the planet. Every time I listen to that dude, I learn something new. He's just really, really incredible. The curriculum's also absolutely amazing, and it's just really a beautiful program that I'd love for you to check out. It is, and when I was saying it's like more of like an online college course, it's like 6 months long. It's like an intensive. In fact, little known fact, it was actually going to be called the Jazz Intensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that.
I liked Jazz Intensive, but people on the team, they spoke and they were like, look, it sounds too intense if you call it an intensive. Can you remember? You can remember, right? I was like, I don't know, I like intensive. But anyway, I was beat down. Beat down back into, get down, Scott. Get back into your corner. And we called it the SBL Jazz Lab. If you do want to check it out, as I was saying, it's sbljazzlab.com. And again, it's absolutely incredible. If you want to learn jazz and get into this world, do, this thing that we're watching these individuals do today, the soloing, understanding walking bass lines, understanding how to map out chords and chord harmony across your entire fingerboard, like all of that stuff is so incredible for your bass playing. Yeah, it's the thing. It's so incredible for your bass playing. So just go check it out. And I will say 2 more things. First of all, there's this bonkers guarantee. Maybe it just slipped through the net. I'm not sure, but you can actually do the program. Sounds bonkers saying this out loud. 60 days. Okay. And then you can get your money back if you don't think it's rocking your world. So it's got a 2 month money back guarantee. So yes, you can completely take us for a ride. If you wanted to, you could sign up, get your SBL coach, work with them every single week, get feedback, work with Todd Johnson, learn through the curriculum, all of that for a full 60 days. And ask for your money back if it's not rocking your world. And the reason why we wanted to put that guarantee on there is because we believe so much in this program and we want to get as many people in to, learn this stuff as possible. So again, it's a 60-day money back guarantee. And then the other thing is that spots are super limited. Spots are really limited because there is humans involved. This is like an online college class. So we can't be just open free for all. It can't be like that. So we need to pair you with your SBL coach and stuff like that. So because of that, numbers are limited and we only have a few, when we're recording this, I think, but you'll be seeing this we're doing this a week ahead of time. There was 79 spots available as we recorded this. That will be less right now, obviously. So if it does sound like it's good for you, like a great fit, and you're interested, go check it out. And again, if you don't like it after that 60 days, then you can say, hey, this isn't for me, and get your money back. But we're hoping that it completely rocks your world.
Yeah. And look, if you're a reluctant jazzer like I used to be, or even maybe sort of still am, look, if you know in your heart that you need to do it, you need to learn how to do this thing. You need to learn how to walk. You'd love to learn how to solo. You want to learn how to deal with jazz harmony on your instrument, play chords, play melodies. I can assure you that it will not be traumatic like my middle school experience, right? Or maybe yours, right? I don't know. So think about this. The educators involved in this, the SBL team and Scott and Todd Johnson, who are at the helm of this ship, are really devoted to making your experience feel encouraging. Yes, there's accountability, of course. Yes, it's going to be hard work, but it's also going to be work that you're going to enjoy doing and you will not be belittled about, right? Yeah. You can come in with absolutely zero knowledge of jazz at all, zero knowledge. And as long as you have curiosity and a bit of work ethic, you will absolutely succeed. It's incredible. You're not going to get vibed out. There's no bad vibes in the jazz lab. No bad vibes allowed, dude. None. There's none.
Zero.
Right? And so if you want that encouraging academic experience where you're not going to made to feel stupid that you don't know this language, this is the program for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, mate. So sbljazzlab.com, go check it out. Hopefully we'll see you on the inside. Now, are you ready for the next?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Okay, so fair warning, you might have seen this one before, but I just wanted to slip it in there. Okay, you might have seen this before. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Oh.
Steve Swallow, obviously.
Is that a Parker fly bass?
It's a 5-string Citron.
Oh, Citron.
By
That's right.
Harvey Citron. Strung
Listen to
E
him.
to C, played with a plectrum.
Yeah.
John Scofield on guitar.
Oh, he sounds so beautiful. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Two things about Steve Swallow that I admire so much. obviously other than his sound or his aesthetic. Or I heard him talk about this thing once where when he played, it was a Gibson EB2 hollow body, and he picked it up at a store and started to play it and went, oh no. And he got scared because he knew his life was never going to be the same because he loved it so much that, and he went, oh no.
Because he was playing like upright. A notable upright player, wasn't he? He was like doing the thing on the stage.
Yes.
Steve Swallow, famous upright player.
Yeah. And you can see him, I think, playing that old original EB2 with Gary Burton, like in the 70s, like his very first Gibson hollow body bass that he played.
Yeah.
And man, it was like absolutely, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, dude. Like, maybe we should watch him again, but I think he plays mostly upstrokes.
Upstrokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This like super light touch.
Yeah.
So cool, man.
Also, I think he angles it quite, he always plays right over the fingerboard as well. So he's like,
and upstrokes over the fingerboard. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get that kind of like upright vibe, yeah.
Man, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
He said something too recently where he said as he's gotten older, his facility has diminished, but his bass playing has gotten more useful. And I think that is so interesting. Like he can't do maybe some of the stuff that he was doing in his 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever.
Yeah.
But now he almost feels like he's a better bass player because he's not tempted or doesn't have the facility to be a showman or selfish or be playing pyrotechnically on the instrument. And he thinks that in a way, like he's chosen to look at that as he's made the bug a feature, right?
Yeah,
he's choosing to look at that as in a good way.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, man, as we all get older and we're all going to have diminishing capability, to like not look at that as like, oh, I'm not as good as I used to be. I'm not as fast. I'm not as whatever. Yeah. To think like maybe I still can make a really nice sound, and maybe that's actually better for the world, the ensemble, whatever. I think that's very cool. He's like endlessly inspiring to me.
Me too. Like, and he's like just in a lane of one. And I think that like there is definitely, every time I listen and go down this sort of like Steve Swallow rabbit hole, I'll just say it out loud into the universe. Like most of the time, what I come away with is like, oh, I should just buy an acoustic bass and just do that. Play with a plectrum. Like just be in a lane of one.
I know.
Because it just, there's something really, I guess, sort of like attractive about like Steve's not competing with anybody. He's not even doing what anybody else does.
I know.
I really love the idea of that. Like, oh, who do you play like? Well, I'm just doing my own thing. Obviously, if I played acoustic bass with a plectrum, I'd say Steve Swallow. But you get my point. I know. There's another guy called Charles Benevent who, again, he's like a flamenco bass player, and again he's just in a lane of one. He's just doing his own thing. Nobody really sort of like does that thing that he does, and for me that's really attractive.
Jerry Seinfeld calls that quality quintessence. That's where I heard it from. I think he said he read it in a book or something, but that he always strives for his objects in his life to have utmost quintessence, meaning that they are exactly what they are and no more, no less. They're the perfect object. So he thinks like the Levi's 501, for instance, quintessence, the Bic pen, quintessence, and like, I love that. The idea that like you're going to make your choices based on being, solely your thing. Doing that one thing so well, and Steve has that. He's got that quintessence.
He freaking has got that. Now, are you ready for the next?
I'm ready.
I don't even know who's next. Let's jump in.
I can't wait. But this, Rich Brown. And Larnell Lewis on drums?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh! Yada.
It's like melted toffee, isn't it? Like, it's just like...
He's so inside of it, too.
The tone.
Kenneth Lawrence bass.
Yeah.
I'm such a freaking nerd. I know that doesn't really matter, but it is so interesting to me. The instruments that these guys choose, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. When Rich flashes, it's really connected to me. Like,
It's
to
so
the pulse,
melodic.
to the pocket.
Yeah.
And pockety. You know?
And he's just developing this beautiful melody.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, incredible. Larnell is such a monster too.
Look at Lionel's
Look at
face.
just
He's like,
feeling
yeah,
it in
we're
it.
bad. Check
Yeah.
out this. Yeah.
That is
He's
a great
like,
stop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, what's interesting to me, Mr. Divine, is you are playing, yes, these are jazz legends, but you're playing me bass solos. You're essentially, like, every one of these so far has been a bass solo.
Yeah, dude.
Which I guess is not surprising because you are Mr. Bass Solo. But I do want to point that out.
Yeah.
This-
When I was sort of like, I had ideas about putting this video together, right? I was like, okay,
Yeah.
jazz legends. I want it could be like Ray Brown, Ron Carter, but you know, I was like, what about doing like a load of the new guys as well? The people that have come out over the last few, and I've been sprinkling some of the Steve solo. We've had a bit of Jaco. We've had some of those old school legends in there as well.
Yes, but it's all solos. It's all bass solos.
It's all bass solos
because you love bass solos.
I love bass solos. Solo.
You love them. And I mean, okay, can I tell you the first time I encountered Rich Brown was on SBL before we were hanging out and working together. Yes. And it was that course, or there was a piece of content on rhythmic displacement where he displaces a groove by a 16th note and keeps going. Yeah. And it was mind-boggling to me. It was so cool. He's such a force. Like, I love him. I love his voice on the instrument, but I also love his speaking voice. He's very calming.
Yeah.
The Brownstone, shout out to the Brownstone on YouTube.
100%,
Rich's channel. So cool. And he's just a calming educator that has just deep knowledge, obviously, of jazz vocabulary and harmony, but also deep pocket. And the pocket, man, I mean, I keep coming back to that, but when I hear him go, like, oh, that's the stuff that gets me really excited. So
it's like
also
he's always like really sort of like tied in rhythmically. It's
Yes.
And
Melted Toffee is absolutely correct.
It's the tone of his bass is like melted toffee, and also the tone of his voice is like melted toffee as well. What's up with that?
I know. Well, that's a thing, right? Sometimes, you know, you play how you are, or sometimes maybe you play how you speak, or, you know, you play like your personality. I really think he plays like his personality, which is, again, man, quintessence. He's such a singular player.
Yeah, a couple of weird things as well. He plays like fingering wise. He does like, do you know what like Evan does? Like what we did it on sort of like Evan would play, what would he play? So like B, like he play like 1, 3, 4 over that.
Yep.
Rich, because he's just got these ginormous hands, he would play it 1, 2, 3.
You're kidding.
No.
1, 2, 3.
He very, like,
Wow.
now and again, he will use his little finger. But it sounds crazy. Predominantly, he's playing with 1, 2, and 3.
And 3.
Do you want to see a clip? Shall I show you?
Yeah, of course.
Let me find a clip. Because once you see it, like, you'll be like, oh, I get it.
I was just transfixed by the melted toffee, you know? I didn't even notice, dude.
Here we go. He still hasn't used his little finger.
Third finger.
Come on, give us that front shot. Come on.
Not the wide.
No, cameraman, get the front shot.
Who's producing this?
Oh my word, this guy's sacked. Hang on, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out.
A little. Maybe
Still
once or
hasn't used
twice.
that little finger.
Yeah.
Oh, did he use it there? Maybe.
Yeah. But you're right.
I
You're right.
love
He's
it
predominantly like first and
It's
third.
predominantly 1, 2, and 3 because
Yes.
it's massive hands. And I love this because it's so easy as, like, you know, music students that we obsess, and we should obsess to a certain degree about, you know, proper technique and all of that. But my favorite soloist in the world, Rich Brown, just gets it, scrumps it up into a little ball and just goes, whoa.
Tosses it.
Chucks
Yeah.
it out.
He has his own
Yeah.
thing that he's doing. Is he your favorite soloist, really?
think
Is he your
so, yeah.
favorite soloist?
Yeah. I think
Wow.
so, yeah. I think so.
More than Schooley?
Tied. It's a tie.
That's hey man, that's high praise.
Dude,
that's high praise.
Tone-wise, Rich is it. Tone-wise, he is it. It is like, it doesn't get any better. Do you know what? I'm looking at you now. I'm thinking, like, have I just made this video all for me?
Yes. Yes, you have. You just filled it full of bass solos.
I'm trying to convert you. I'm like, come on, me. My idea was, like, when we were making this video, I was like, oh, what would be weird? Like, what? I mean, something that's not non-obvious, but maybe I've gone like too non-obvious.
Dude, I love it. I love it. You're a man who loves a bass solo and you're not afraid to admit it.
I love a bass solo, dude. I love a bass solo. Who have we got next? Oh my God. Well, you know it. We've got another bass solo.
Oh, do we? Wait, another bass solo?
We've got solos.
Shocker.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm
Are you ready?
Oh, sure. Playing Jaco's Bass of Doom.
Exactly. He's playing the bass of Doom that we were watching before. Maybe Jaco was playing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say if that was or wasn't or whatever, but this was a famous bass, right, that Jaco had. He was busted into a million pieces. It was then reassembled. What do you call that? Restored, right? And then ended up in the hands of Robert Trujillo.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. But check out the tone, dude. The tone is like really like Jaco. I think.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think. Check it out.
For sure.
Like, it's got that vibe, right?
Definitely. But Hadrian's playing is so different though. Like Jaco, so aggressive, punchy back by the bridge. Obviously Hadrian does that too. But here, right, Hadrian is like in a little bit more of like maybe a 6 or 7 dynamically, playing on the neck pickup, not going for that like super incredibly dynamic out front thing. But I'm sure he'll get there.
We'll
I'm
see.
sure he's going to get there in this bass solo.
Maybe. He's got chops, you know.
Yes, he does.
If you don't know, he went to the chop shop. And
Did
the
he?
chops were on sale.
They were on sale, dude.
He was just like, yeah, the band doesn't put all the chops in. Hadrian ended up with all of the chops.
He bought a lot. He bought a lot.
He bought a lot of
Yeah.
chops. Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to Costco with the chops was on sale.
Oh, and you can't get out of Costco without having like a 50 pack of chops. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't buy one. You got to get 50.
Yeah, he got my share of the chops for sure.
Yeah, mine too.
Look at the flame on the neck as well. Every time I see this bass, I look at the headstock. It looks super flamey.
Now here, just before it went to the overexposed shot of the Pro Tools screen here,
Yeah.
he was on the bridge pickup.
Oh, right, yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
He's-
Yeah.
what the?
I know you love that. I know you love that. That's what I'm going to say about that. I know that you love that. I'm
love it.
recognizing that you love that. You love you love that.
The title of this video should be Bass Teacher Forces Bass Friend. To listen to solo.
Just so many bass solos. And bass friend says, "Yes, I know that you love this."
This is somewhat like the experience that
Yeah, tell me.
when I was a kid and I was like, I got into Gary Willis. I was like 17 or 18,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, got into Willis and Tribal Tech, right? The
Yeah,
most fusion of fusiony bands.
Yeah.
And like take my VHS. I'd take my VHS video round to my friend's house.
Oh, you're the worst.
And all
You're
my
the
grunge,
worst.
all of my grunge friends would be there, right?
Yeah.
And they'd be all sort of like listening to like Pearl Jam and Nirvana and like whatever, right? And I'd be sitting there. And at some point in the night, they'd have either drank too much or smoked too much, one of the two, right? And then I would see a weakness in the fence. I'd grab my Tribal Tech VHS and I'd shove it in the player and press play. And suddenly the room would be full of bass solos and fusion. And I swear to God, they probably came around from the drunken states and they were like, "What is going?" I walked into
Did they love it? Did they love it? What'd they think?
No, they didn't like it. They hated it. They'd just sit there in sort of like just
Yeah.
confusion. They
just
there
had
in
to put up with
confusion.
it.
Yes, and I'd just be sitting there grinning, watching Willis in all of his soloing glory.
Are we going to get a little self-defense in this video? I hope so.
Oh,
Jeez, don't
dude,
leave me. I
do
mean,
you want
that's
me to
one of the greatest.
Dude,
Hold on, though. But let me say this about Hadrian, because I didn't want to stop it on, Hadrian's blazing. And I'm like, yeah, obviously, Hadrian is a frickin' monster. His vocabulary, his tone, his sound. I mean, yes, absolutely. But my favorite parts of Hadrian, again, are when he's playing sort of softly and melodically and leaving space.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he has an amazing touch on the instrument. And then again, it's that thing of when it goes, when it's like seventh gear. I don't know, do cars have, like the last gear. I don't, the last gear. I don't care. And I'm not impressed. And that isn't the goal. Like, he's not trying to impress me. I think you are. But Hadrian doesn't care. Hadrian doesn't care what I think about it. It's just that, like, I love the moment.
I'm just converting people out here, dude.
Yeah.
or doing the opposite.
I mean, I want to know, actually, in the
Into
comments.
the hills.
Yeah, like in the comments, let us know. Do you love bass solos? Do you have a complicated relationship? Do you think bass solos are stupid? Like, how do you feel about bass solos? Write down an experience that you've had, either taking one, if you love them, if you hate them, your favorite bass solo. Give us in the comments. Let us know how you feel about bass solos. I like a bass solo, but I don't want only bass solos, Divine. God, give me, jeez.
Should we finish on self-defense?
Sure.
I'm going to pull it up. You've heard it before, but let's it's going to be so good.
It's amazing.
Thank you for putting up with me, Ian.
I love that this whole time there hasn't been a single groove. It's just
until now. Come on.
Oh,
you
man.
know it. I know it. This is going to be heavy. Let me just get to
Gary.
the good section.
I mean, and we've talked about this with Gary before and how it was such a crazy day and they didn't get any of the tech right and it went forever. And he like, maybe he'd never even watched it because he was so upset with how the day went. But this is one of my favorite things of Gary Willis, ever, actually. It's so cool.
Which
and
bit
his
do you
sound
want?
and approach. Wait, what?
Which bit do you want?
I don't know. You probably know it better than I do.
No, I was
Dude.
Do you want the bass solo?
Yeah. Give me the bass solo.
Come on, let's do this.
Let's go.
Dude, this
Yes?
video was so impactful for me. I cannot
Right.
tell you how. I think I might have watched this over 1,000 times. I'm not kidding. I swear to God.
Yeah.
The silver bass, that pickup
yeah.
there. I'm excited and I've barely heard anything.
I
I'm
know.
just
And also, I remember too, like his style back then was so different than like, wearing the dad hat, tucking in the shirt, but
Yeah.
somehow like he was wearing sort of like nerdy clothes. Now those clothes are like ironic cool. But at
Yeah.
the time I remember seeing him and thinking, oh, weird. Like he is not doing the thing that other jazz legend hero, in the zeitgeist were doing.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking he was kind of badass and he never smiled, dude.
Yeah,
Like he never
Willis doesn't
smiled.
smile, dude.
No,
That's
Willis is serious, man. Serious business on the bass.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking it was, pretty badass,
Gary,
actually.
I do know you smile, but let's just keep it between us. Please, that would be great. Actually, if we could just start a new thing right now that Gary doesn't, so just like full. All
Dude,
the
I don't know if I've ever seen it. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
If anybody hasn't seen this bass solo, you're about to get your face torn off. If you like bass
Okay.
solos,
Okay.
but like when he goes down low, it's like this solo.
Stop it.
Bass
Play the
teacher-
solo.
Bass teacher plays his friend bass solo.
We're retitling the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody sounds like this guy. Nobody. Out frickin' rageous. The style, dude.
Oh,
Casio watch,
oh yeah.
Okay, pause. Because here's the thing. This is so interesting to me because it doesn't read a flurry of notes, even though it sort of is. I mean, it's a fast 16th note figure. He's playing even, fast, straight 16th notes.
Yeah.
And it's so different to how the Gwiz phrases. It's so different to how Rich phrases,
Totally
how
different,
Hadrian
yeah.
phrases.
Yeah.
He's playing a fretless, right? It's so different to how Jaco phrases. It's Jaco-esque in like Jaco had that 16th note funk thing, but Willis is essentially here playing an entire solo of and it doesn't have a ton of dynamic or volume variation, whereas like Gwizdala, right, has all of this like volume, like huge dynamic range.
Yeah.
Willis does too. Willis has a huge dynamic range, but here it's like a machine gun.
Yeah,
bass
his
solo.
approach is different, isn't it?
Yeah, it almost sounds like a sequencer. It's like
Exactly, yeah.
It's crazy, and it's really cool to me actually. Not that the others weren't. It's just this one to me feels like it has a real purpose of like driving, and that's
so
sweet.
interesting. That's really interesting because I thought that if I had to take a punt, I would have said that Janek and Janek and Gwizdala. Yeah, just Janek.
Yeah.
Janek and Rich would probably speak to you the most, because I think that they are the most like they take more of a melodic approach.
Yeah,
And
they're
kind
awesome.
of like playing these sort of like beautiful, like almost like so, like you would sing a melody, right?
Yeah,
Then-
and of course
yeah.
that's true, but this is like meaner, and it's kind of cool. Like I don't want to listen to endless Gary Willis bass solos. But there's something
Is this
about
the
this one.
If you had to put it like on which one of these speaks to you most? Wait, or like not speaks, but like sort of like there's something really interesting in it for you.
I mean, this one is sort of the most, it makes me go, whoa. It makes me kind of like lean in more. Once I've kind of heard the beautiful phrasing and the melodic ideas, I've heard a little bit of that and I'm like, yeah, okay, great. But this one, I'm kind of wondering where it's going to go more. I'm going, whoa, is he going to keep the freight train rolling? Is it going to break out into something else? Like, I'm kind of curious where it lands. Can we see?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Check it out.
Space, but still in 16th note land.
Yeah. And to your point as well, very like not like Janek, not like Rich, where there was like a lot of dynamic range. It's
Right.
It's really within sort of like a specific band, isn't it?
Yep.
Interesting.
Well, and is that Kurt Covington on drums?
Yeah.
Kurt is also playing hard. And I remember Willis talking about a thing of like, he hates it when the band drops out. So I think like, it's interesting. Gary likes this. Gary wants Kurt, I bet, to be like up at like a 7 or 8 dynamically, playing kind of hard.
Yeah.
So that he also can kind of like lean in and play at this like slightly bigger, more even dynamic, maybe. I don't know. But still, even when he's leaving space, he's like really adhering to that straight 16th grid, which I don't know. It's cool. It's just a different lane than the guys that are way outside of the grid. They know where the grid is. You know, Gwiz knows the grid, dude. Gwiz is no stranger to the grid. You know? You know what I'm saying?
Can we have a t-shirt? Yeah, can you have a like Gwiz knows the grid?
Gwiz knows the grid. Yeah, he ain't a stranger to the grid. But he chooses, dude, to
Freaking love you, dude.
drop the grid, you know. He chooses.
This has
And
been so
Gary is adhering to it right here, and
Yeah.
and it's cool. It's cool.
fun. Locked in.
Locked in.
Let's take it out a little bit more, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Here we go. I love this bit.
His bass just sounds crazy too.
Yeah, it's like a synth, isn't it?
It sounds like a synth. Yeah. Ugh.
There's Kurt.
Bang, he's hitting hard. Ooh, yeah. Okay, you know what it is for me? It's more than the notes because this does start to kind of wash over me a bit, but it's his sound. His sound is so wild.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like a keyboard to me. And
Yeah.
low, it's got this like real, almost metallic clang, kind of down
It's
low.
weird, isn't it? Yeah. It's
Yeah,
weird.
and
Yeah,
it's-
down low, it sounds like in a great way weird. but
Yes.
It's like super synthy.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's mean. Gary has always had this kind of like Gary's sound is always kind of like giving me the evil eye. You know what I mean? Gary's always kind of squinting and furrowing his brow at me with his sound. And there's something about that that's like, ooh, like it is the opposite of melted toffee, right?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
It is the opposite
It's
of rich
metal.
brown. It's metal, yeah.
It's like metal and sort of like shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's teethy, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas rich, it's like warm and rounded, you know, really beautiful and fluid, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
But Gary's got those teeth, dude. Gary's got those incisors, hey. He's going to take a bite. Yeah. It's just
So let
cool.
me get this straight. He doesn't smile. He's like a vampire. He's going to bite you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Love it.
aggressive.
I do. I wonder about that sound as well. Like he famously plays really, really lightly on his right hand.
That's right.
Incredibly lightly. For anybody that hasn't seen him, most of you probably, right? If you watch him in the flesh, and it doesn't translate over a YouTube video for whatever reason, or on a TV, if you watch him in the flesh, it just when you see him play, it's so bizarre how fine like the movements are, how lightly he's playing on the strings. It's so light.
Yeah.
And that's his vibe. That's what he's famed. That's his sort of like one of his methodologies is, reduce down how much you're playing on the right hand and increase the volume of your amp. And interesting, we also had a conversation with Mike League, and he was similar in what he said.
Yes.
We had that whole sort, reduce down the volume that you're playing, which is in direct conflict of how I play. Actually, I dig in and do the whole thing, right? But Mike plays with a really delicate. He's got a delicate touch. He does. Delicate right hand.
Yeah. It's true.
Divine, stay on. Do not go anywhere. Okay.
Eighth grader, dude. You're an eighth grader.
I know. So he's got that really light hand. And what it looks like, and again, this is what Gary talked about when he was talking about on his earliest VHS videos back in the 90s, is that the audience perceives it as a fatter sound because within the mix of the band, because if you're playing really hard, you'll get a real, it will look like, what did Mike say it would look like?
Sausages.
No, the opposite. What's the opposite?
Traffic cones.
It's like a traffic cone. You've got a real big front end of the note, and it dies off.
Right.
Whereas if you play light, so if you're playing like if you're playing like this, it's just going to be, when you look at the waveform, it's going to be really fat and even. So if you increase your volume within the band, it's gonna, for the audience, they're gonna feel these big. Yeah. Whereas if you, let me just turn that off.
You got that bass solo reverb on right now, dude.
That's right, dude. Yeah. You got this like
you're queued up. Right. Yep, you hear it kind of die out. Well, and volume can really fool you. Like if you have if I'm gonna turn down my rig.
And you play really lightly.
Yeah, like if I play hard, I'm gonna just turn down my rig. And if I play hard on this bass, versus if I turn up my stuff and play softly, it's such a different thing, right? Now, that's not to say that playing hard is like striking really hard. Sometimes those are the bass players that you notice. Flea, Les Claypool, Geddy Lee, John Entwistle, Scott Devine. I mean, you play hard, and then you have a sound as a result.
Yeah,
and sometimes
it's not like Lemmy though, or who else did you say? Like John Entwistle and stuff. I think that they're kind of like swinging all the way through, aren't they?
Yep.
I play sort of like loud, but
you kind of grab the string. Yeah, you're a snapper.
Yeah, it snaps. And Jonathan Marin, same deal.
Jonathan Marin is the same. You're right.
Exactly. Jonathan Marin plays really hard, really sort of like, digs in. Incredible, but it doesn't sound anything like, like Entwistle or anything like that. Sounds really controlled, but just a different approach to playing. Man, I love this stuff. So
me too.
Me too. Let's go down the geek hole.
It's amazing. I'm here for it. And I think like sometimes, because I do play really softly, like I'm always about here.
Yeah. And it doesn't translate it, like it does a little bit, because we've spent sort of like a million hours playing bass actually next to each other, sat in a room. When I watch you now, I know how you're like, how hard you're hitting it and stuff like that. But before, when I just watched you on video without, spending hours sat next to each other, it didn't translate. It just, you hear the sound and it's not very obvious how hard you're hitting it, right? So just for everybody watching, Ian is playing way lighter than you actually think he does. Yeah, especially when if they watch you on Instagram, they're going to hear this massive synth sounds and and it, the brain, think, sort of like puts one and one together. It's like, oh, two, but it's not. It's actually like really soft. How do you play again? Yeah, a delicate touch.
A delicate touch. Yes. It's what I bring to the table.
This has been wicked, dude. Thank you for putting up with my bass solos.
I love it.
Do you know the best thing about it? I didn't even realize until into it, and you were like, dude, this is all bass solos. I was like,
I love you for it, man. It's amazing.
Thank you, dude. Thank you for putting up with my bass solo geekery. Again, peoples of the internet, people's bass players of YouTube, if you want to check out the new program that we've launched over at SBL, just go to sbljazzlab.com. Again, full on like college-like experience. I'm teaching the curriculum. We've got Todd Johnson doing the lives. I'm doing lives as well. We've also got coaches. We've put a coaching team together to do lives. It's an incredible curriculum. If you want to learn how to do walking bass lines and you want to know more about chord harmony and how that works within music, you want to know more about dynamics and soloing and play, and play melodies. And the whole curriculum has been put together in a really interesting way, step-by-step approach. But what we do is we take 3 different standards over the 6-month program, 3 different standards, and we look at each standard in exactly the same way. First of all, we look at the actual why the chords work, what does it mean, the sort of like theory behind the chords. Then we look at creating walking bass lines over those chords, how to do that, how to get into that, so we're outlining the chords. Then we get into actually playing the chords, so you're learning how to play like this kind of stuff, like actually playing on your instrument. Then we start learning the melodies, like actually how to play the melodies of the tunes, because that's really important as well, great for your dynamics. Then finally we get into how to solo over them tunes, that tune as well. So we take that entire framework of one jazz standard, we do all of that week by week, and then we get that same framework and we use it on the next standard and then the next standard. It's an incredible way of learning, because you're learning a standard, a jazz song, you're learning it like in a much deeper way, and you're learning it in a way that you're never going to get if you just learn the chord sequence and like play up a walking line over it. You're learning it in a way when you actually get on a gig and play this stuff, you're going to know the chord sequence, you're going to know the chords, you're going to know how to play walking bass line of it, you're going to know how to play the melody of it, you're going to know how to solo over it. So you've got this new depth of within that piece of music, and then we get that framework and we use it on every single standard that you study. So it's a really cool way of doing it. I actually got the idea from somebody that studied with Jeff Berlin, actually, just to
really,
to say that out into the universe. Yeah, it was. I'm not sure he took the same approach, but the way that it was described to me, it was like, oh, that's interesting,
right?
And then I just took that idea. It was something when Jeff Berlin was at the Players School of Music. A friend of mine, Phil, he was going there as a student, and he said that every week they were learning a different jazz standard, or every 2 weeks or every month or whatever. The whole school was all working on this different jazz standard.
Oh yeah, that's
and I was
cool.
like, oh, that's cool.
Yep.
And I was thinking about, well, if that was the case, I bet you would be learning the melody and you'd be learning the chords and you'd be learning the walking bass line. And so it was that idea that really informed me of the curriculum that I put together for this program. So massive shout out to Jeff as well, even though it's probably, not exactly like he was using it in play school, but how it was like, Chinese whispers.
Of course.
It came to me in some way through Phil, and then I took that idea, what I heard at least, and then sort of like used that to, it was the inspiration to put the curriculum together for this program. So yeah, it's a beast. Check it out, sbljazzlab.com.
And what you'll discover is, like any genre that seems daunting to you, there are all of these sort of tropes that continue to happen. So if you learn one jazz standard, then you learn another and another. Once you've learned 3, you've actually learned a lot more.
You've learned like 30. Yeah.
Yes, because so many of them do the same kind of chord movement, the same shapes. You'll start to recognize patterns, just like if you play pop music, you recognize 1, 5, 6, 4s, or if you play worship music, or if you play a blues, right? You recognize these forms, and it goes from being, oh my God, the world of jazz with thousands of standards to, oh, actually, because I've done the deep dive on these 3 standards, I now have a really good handle on how to play most standards, because it all starts to show up in a similar way. And that's a really powerful light bulb moment when you get there with jazz or with any genre, where you go, oh, I see. I kind of understand the framework now, and I can apply it to all of these tunes. So make no mistake, like, it's not like, if you want to learn how to play jazz, you have to learn thousands of songs. You have to just go deep, deep, deep on some of the main monsters that then let you get into all the others, because you've done the work. And that's what this is going to do. It's going to make you do the work, baby.
Yeah. And just to say it again out loud, maybe I shouldn't.
You love bass solos?
I do like bass solos. But there's a 60-day money-back guarantee as well.
That's
so you
right.
can do the program for 2 months. And then if it isn't rocking your world, you can get a full refund.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And there's also limited numbers as well. When we recorded this, there was 79 spots left available. I'm not sure. This has come out a week after. So do take.
There will be less.
There will definitely be less.
Mm-hmm.
Go check it out, and hopefully we'll see you on the inside. Now, with that said, we'll probably see you, well, maybe inside Jazz Lab. But if not, we'll see you on the next podcast. Take it easy. See you in a bit, and thanks for putting up with my bass solos.
Take care, everybody.